Week 6 is finally here for the Hold Your Brakes Academy series. My name is Joshua King, flying solo. This evening we're back at Talladega Super Speedway for Week 6, our second time being here in the season. First race here, we saw a lot of drama fold out. Not necessarily between the drivers, just on the track with the racing. It was a wonderful race to watch and call from the broadcast booth, and I'm excited for another one. Let's take a quick look here at our race details. Of course, 1 hour race length here for this oval introductory learner series. 2 fast repairs and a 2K iRating cap. So a little bit different style here, but very excited to be back. Just over 2.5 miles, 104 degrees is the track temp right now. That's going to get warmer, 78 degrees outside, low winds, cloudy, 45% humidity. Let's take a look at some of these guys as we see them rolling around the speedway here. We're taking a look at Timothy Presley in the in the 30. I'm used to Presley rolling the 01. That's Tuesday nights, getting them all mixed up now. Brand new paint for the 30 of Presley in the Black Rifle Coffee Company red and white Ford. Good looking paint there, and congrats to Presley on the sponsorship from Black Rifle Coffee Company, and want to welcome them aboard to the Hold Your Brakes Academy series. Let's take a look at the 2-second quick time right now. That's the 94 Robert Altman there in the McDonald's red and white Ford with the pinup girl there on the side. That's a pretty cool looking ride there. William Martin in the 55 is third quick. You can see they probably have these quick speeds because they're all rolling together, so they've been fortunate to get in the draft a bit. I'd like to welcome everybody in. As you join, feel free to chat with me, and I will respond. I'm going to go admin mode real quick. We're going to turn off our voice chat here so we don't hear what's being said in voice chat, or so you don't hear it, rather. Although that might be kind of fun to try out sometime. We're not going to give it a run this evening. But there is William Martin sitting third quick for the moment. Fourth quick right behind him is the 70 of Don King. See if anything changes that lap. No, sir. So they stay the way they were. Justin Terry in the 20 sits fifth quick. He's in the Cookie Monster Chips Ahoy machine. Always like that paint. Very good looking paint there. Well done. Tyler Martin is in the 00. He's also rocking a Black Rifle Coffee Company ride. Zach Martin relation there between those two. Zach White. Team affiliation, that is, believe. Not Zach White. I'm all over the place, man. Timothy Presley is the team affiliate with Tyler Martin. Holy moly. I got plenty of rest here, folks, and haven't been on the mic in a few nights, so we're ready to rock and roll. I promise you I won't stumble over my words all evening. Aaron Genske is in the 115 black ride there. He sits 8th quick currently. Ryan Perone Sr., your points leader and winner of 2 races so far out of the 5 that we've run. Tonight is race 6. So Ryan Perone Sr. leading the way in points thus far. Of course, people did kind of close the gap a little bit after last week. We'll see if they continue that. The 70 of Don King having to figure out the blinking issue before we go green in this thing. Robert Minor sits in the 53 there with the bright yellow wheels. He's on the outside in the black and white Chevy Camaro 53. Sits 10th quick. That rounds out your top 10. We already saw Timothy Presley. He's currently 11th. Oh, as they get into it, look out. Let's take a look at the bright neon chrome and gold ride of Kelly Akron in the 19. I love this paint, man. He rolls out some magnificent looking paints. Does Akron. Don't see him in the chat so far. Was going to get him in here for an interview. But nevertheless, I don't see a lot of our competitors in the chat or in the race chat on Discord. So apparently we'll have to go back to them, see if we can't get a word with them. But Akron just moved up to 8th quick, 51.83 on the timing tower. For a reminder, since we call so many leagues night in and night out, this one is an open qualifying. So they have a 30-minute practice, and it also counts as qualifying. Of course, in a super speedway league such as this one for season 1, I should say, it's all super speedways, which is really cool. We've had an opportunity to see a lot of drivers come up and start at the front in different races, as opposed to some of those shorter tracks, more finesse tracks, if you will, that you might see certain folks be successful week in and week out in qualifying. And so we've gotten a chance to really get a good look at all these drivers starting in different places every week, which is really cool for us, really cool for you guys, and of course really awesome for them. Let's take a look here at Thomas Osborne. He's in the turquoise, we'll say, or blue, aquamarine blue maybe, black and white 57 Logitech Ford Mustang. A lot of Fords out here. Good mix actually between Ford and Toyota. Only 4 Chevys in the field. And we'll take a look at the 4 of Jeremy Gill. Mid-tier racing. Paint Masters 4 as he blinks briefly. Good looking paint there from the 4 of Jeremy Gill. Good to see him out here once again. He's one of your 4 in a Chevy. And we got the boss man, Shane King, in the 60 Ford Mustang there. Royalty Racing, or Royalty Motorsports, Dumpster. What is that there? Dumpster. I always forget this one. DumpsterToday.com Ford Mustang. Man, I mean, I had it down pat, you know, when we were doing 1 series a week, that type of thing. All converted to memory now. 3 in a row, Monday through Wednesday, mix y'all up. But yeah, there's Shane King in the 60 out of St. Cloud, Florida, 46 years old, Royalty Motorsports, DumpsterToday.com Ford Mustang driver. See if anyone else joined in here while we're goofing around. Gary Sigelkow is going to take the grid. He's not on the track though, but I love his paint. The Venom Racing neon yellow Chevy Camaro number 25 of Sigelkow. He has ran a lap time, currently just got passed by Thomas Osborne, sits 15th quick on the board. Joe Thomas, we hadn't seen him. He took over the top spot, did Joe Thomas, in the PinupsForVets.com, Operation Motorsports logos. 218 Chevy Camaro out of Winlock, Washington. This guy, folks, is a free agent, so if you're looking to recruit, Joe Thomas may be the man. But anyway, we'll go back to the larger view as we look at Thomas. He's rolling along nicely with about 6 other cars. rather, which is a big reason why he's on the top of the board right now, the 51.27. 500ths in front of Robert Altman in the 94, who's not a part of this group. We could see someone else jump to the front here out of this group. Let's see if we do. No, sir. Nobody takes the top spot from Mr. Thomas. The 51 of Steve Harrison is out there in this group. We'll take a good look at his car if Ryan Perone Sr. will clear the way just a bit. Just kidding, Ryan. But there's Steve Harrison, nicknamed the Viper. Follow him on Twitch and TikTok at Viper1972. Good looking ride. There's the 51 Toyota Supra. No sponsor on that thing. I'm sure he'd love one. Reach out to the 52-year-old out of Owensboro, Kentucky. Luck Good Racing Machine. He's teammates with Ryan Perone Sr. I'm sure he's telling Ryan, get me a win, sir. Under 5 minutes to go here in qualifying practice session. Still looking for the 19 of Akron to give him an interview, but he's not there. You know what? Let's get this guy here. The 77, Zach White. See if we can't get him. Zach White currently sits in the top 5 in points. He alluded to it earlier. He's chasing down the 50 of Ryan Perone Sr. Zach, this is Joshua up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Zach, thank you for joining us. Just wanted to see tonight how the car is feeling and how you're feeling about Talladega for a second time this season.
Well, gonna just give it a shot. Last time we were here, we finished pretty much back of pack. We got stuck in some bad traffic and accidents.
Yeah, that can happen. You're currently sitting 7th quick right now, which would put you in the Hornet's nest. What is the strategy, if any, going into this evening to ultimately put yourself at the front late and have a chance to win this thing?
Gonna push her to the front and hope to stick there all night.
Right on, man. Well, appreciate the quick interview. Before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank or shout out this evening?
The league, Shane for running this league, and you guys for hosting it.
Right on. Very cool. Appreciate you, Zach. Good luck this evening. And thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Once again, folks, that was the driver out of New Oxford, Pennsylvania, in the 77 Ford Mustang that you see on your screen. Zach White. Looking to have a good run tonight. Sits just inside that top 5. Man, a few words is Zach White. I respect that. He's out there running, getting ready to go for it. No changes on the timing tower. Joe Thomas still first quick. He's pulled it into the pits for now. Robert Altman sits second quick. He is also in the pits. William Martin sits third quick. Don King, fourth quick. Good qualifying / practice for him. Justin Terry in the 20 sits fifth quick, rounds out your top 5. Tyler Martin in the 00. We took a look at him. He sits 6th. Zach White, who we just talked to, as I mentioned in the interview, sits 7th right now. Still a chance to move up, though, since he's with some drafting buddies there late in practice. Under a minute to go here. Oh, Zach White to the top of the board. New quick time. 50.81 by a 10th. He takes it from Justin Terry, who also moved up to second quick. Joe Thomas got passed by 2 of them. And now he'll roll off third quick, barring any late moves here in the closing seconds. Talk about clutch, folks. Woo! We just talked to him, and he said, yeah, I'm sitting 7th quick. Not going to be in the Hornet's Nest, Joshua. I'm going to sit at the top of the board and start on pole. Good lap from Zach White in the 77. Don King with that group moving ahead fell all the way to 6th. Still a good starting spot. That'll be outside row 3. We'll have a grid for you here momentarily. As you see, our qualifying and practice has now concluded officially. And we'll go through the rest of the field here. Sickle Cow didn't get a chance to look at him in practice since we were talking to White, but he did move up to 9th quick. Good look there from the blimp cam at beautiful Talladega Super Speedway this evening. Running solo this evening, folks, so I'm going to try to bring you some driver interviews potentially, shall the opportunity arise during the race. Of course, not when they're green flag racing. This is not the H&W Electrical Series either, but free advertisement for H&W Electrical there on the graphic in the top right corner of your screen. No big deal there. But you'll see tonight your timing tower looks just a little bit different. That's because the one and only Drafty Beef is not with us this evening. He normally runs the show. Gonna go empty there and bring up your grid. Starting on pole, as we saw in the closing seconds of the practice qualifying run, is the 77 of Zach White. To his outside, moving up to 2nd, is going to be the 20 of Justin Terry. Joe Thomas in the 218 will roll off 3rd. William Martin in the 55 will roll off on the outside of row 2 in the 55. That's William Martin. Robert Altman will start on the inside of row 3 in the 94. He'll roll off 5th. Don King in the 70 will start 6th. Tyler Martin in the 00 out of Carolina will roll off 7th. Steve Harrison in the 51 will be beside him on the outside of row 4, starting 8th. Gary Sicklecow, as I mentioned, in the 25. Bright yellow ride will roll off 9th. Ryan Perone Sr., your points leader and winner of 2 races this series, will roll off 10th in the 50. Robert Miner will start 11th, and Kelly Akron in the 19. JMR Racing Machine will start 12th. And we go on back, keep it on moving. Timothy Presley will roll off 13th, Thomas Osborne 14th. And that's all it's giving me per the usual on the grid. Interesting deal always. But Thomas Osborne is rolling off 14th. Then Shane King will start 15th. Aaron Genske will roll off in 16th. And Jeremy Gill will roll off 17th on the tail end of the field. You got to believe he'll be near the front sooner than later. Folks, we're getting ready to go green here as we join them back up front with Zach White leading the way as they head into turn 3. And once they hit turn 4, we'll go to the starter cam and watch Barney release them. Michael Gerard, welcome in. Let's go JMR. All right, we'll get you a look at some Jarrett Martin Racing cars this evening. And please shout out if you want to take a look at somebody. I'll try to do my best to get you that shot. Morgan, welcome in. Racing is stacking up beautifully. 17 cars on the grid. Talladega, we're just now going green for the first time this evening. As you see the iRacing.com pace car make his way into pit road. We'll see our field make their way towards the Geico start zone, and Barney will let them loose here soon.
Green flag.
And we're off as he waves it for the 77 is Zach White. Zach White will lead lap number 1 as the 218 is right on the back bumper. We already saw some 3-wide action a little bit further back in the field through the first lap, but they've since settled things down as we see the 94 of Robert Altman leading that outside lane, beginning to get some momentum now since they have calmed down behind him. If the 55 of William Martin, whoa, look out as we have trouble. Hold on to it, Terry. He won't do it, and we saw that play out live on just lap 2. Oh my goodness, and already a quick caution. Now we're going to go to the 00 here of Tyler Martin. Rewind it just a little bit. We saw him, he was well on the bottom line, and just the air from the draft and the side draft kind of got him to where he went up the track and caught the 20 of Justin Terry, and around they went from there. No opportunity to save it. Let's go back one more time here to the incident. We'll follow along with the 20 now of Justin Terry in a little bit better camera here. You can see the 00 come up and tag him. Maybe a little net code. I think they would have gotten each other anyway. 20 did a good job of trying to save it, but he stacks up the 25 of Sigelcow, as well as Robert Minor. Heavy damage there. Hopefully able to drive it back. Doesn't look like it. And man, that's unfortunate. That happened not too far from the front. Amber, welcome in. Go Jarrett Martin Racing. And yeah, Jarrett Martin himself not making the call this evening, but he's got some teammates in here. A lot of people down pit road already due to damage, I have to believe. The 50 of Ryan Perone Sr.'s in. Steve Harrison in. Thomas Osborne also in. Genski is in the 115. Jeremy Gill electing to go back in the pit there. Pulled it out. Maybe he wasn't sitting right. Not quite sure. And Robbie Minor in the 53 was in already. There's a good look at Minor. Unfortunate for Minor. Had a rough go thus far and the last couple races. Zach White continues to sit out front here as we only made it 2 laps before the first caution. But Zach White first, Joe Thomas second, and Don King in the 70 moved up to third. Based off the incident there, he avoided it all. He's up 3 spots. Shane King also avoided it all. He's your biggest mover. So the DumpsterToday.com Royalty Motorsports boys in the field tonight, already having luck go their way early. Amber says, oh no, Tyler. Well, rest assured, he'll be all right. There he is right there. Tyler Martin. Think he missed it all, or he obviously started it accidentally, of course, but escaped without much damage after that. So there's a good look at the Black Rifle Coffee Company 00 for you, Amber. He's going to be all right. Take a look back up front here. Lights still on the pace car, giving these guys a chance to get down pit road and get some damage fixed. The good news is everybody is out already, so no race ruiners in that first caution. 8 guys of our 17-man field this evening made it down pit road on caution number 1. Robbie Minor, the only one to go 1 lap down. So that's a good thing for Minor, due to the fact that I have to believe within 53 minutes we will get yet another caution, and he'll be able to catch that lucky dog, shall he avoid further damage. Michael, that's right. Tough luck for sure, but it's only the start. That's the good thing. 2 fast repairs, as I mentioned in the pre-race show this evening, so they'll all be all right. No big deal for these guys. They'll come back strong. Shout out to Black Rifle Coffee Company for the sponsor on the Jarrett Martin Racing rides. That is the 00 of Martin and the 30 of Presley. And let's take a cool look at them as you see the 30 and the 00 starting side by side here in row 3. So that's a cool shot. If you want to screenshot it, send it to them, or make a graphic out of it, that's a good one. Those Black Rifle Coffee Company guys right next to each other. Ooh, man, that's a beauty right there. Take it, snap it. Also got the DumpsterToday.com guys just a mere 1 row apart. But anyway, Joe Thomas and Zach White will lead us back to green after working caution number 1 early on the evening.
Green.
And away they go as Zach White leads the way, but the 218 had a heck of a jump on the outside. The 70 and the 94 will get back to their bumpers. But White didn't have quite the push he had before. You'll see a big gap as now the 30 will elect to get down behind his teammate. Now the 70 of Don King has to stop blinking. That will be problematic as we go forward in this race, especially if he's sitting up front and has a pusher and he's pushing. So keep an eye on that, folks. That's that orange and white 70 machine you currently see sitting third. Now the 218 lost all of his momentum, did Joe Thomas. Guys jump to the low side. Looks like they're getting it back though, as the 4 of Jeremy Gill already up to the front. I mentioned it early. Didn't take him long, folks. He's up 12. He's sitting 5th, battling on the outside lane. Let's keep it clean and green for a while here, guys. Be good to see some green flag racing The 19 of Akron is up 3 in that golden neon yellow machine on the low side. The 57 of Thomas Osborne needs some more help up there. He's flirting with danger, folks, where he's got the pedal to the metal, but just barely losing ground and barely hanging on to the 60 of Shane King as the 94 of Altman is cycled. The 57 will be happy to see that because he'll get a little bit of a push from Altman. But Altman did lose a lot of ground. Back up front, we still see the 77 of Zach White lead the way. The 218, however, is leading the middle lane as the 60 of Shane King pushes it 3 wide, but he's got no one there to help him. The 60, lucky for him, he has an opportunity to drop in line without losing too much ground. And the 57 picked him back up. Oh, as we see Don King get cycled. The 0 had a run on King. Fortunately, doesn't look like too many others wrapped up. We saw it again play out live. He peeked out to the middle lane, and then the 00 didn't give him an opportunity to get back in. I think he was being pushed also, not quite sure. Oh my gosh, 55 hard in to the side of 70. 55 is William Martin. Tough break for Don King. Hopefully he's able to drive it back around. Looks like maybe that'll avoid him going a lap down, but that car's all cattywampus. Driving sideways down the track. All sorts of broken. The guy that's happy to see this the most is the 53 of Robbie Minor, who will now more than likely get back on the lead lap. Don King still limping it around. He's going to make it though. It's going to be a slow ride. But the 218 of Joe Thomas did have the lead. So he'll lead his first laps of this affair due to the caution coming out. Gotta believe we'll see multiple people down pit road, and we do already. Ryan Perone Sr. back down pit road for the second time this evening, probably just for fuel, I'd assume. Robert Altman is in. William Martin is in. Ryan Perone Sr., I mentioned, he's already off pit road. Steve Harrison, Sickle Cow, getting damage repaired. I'm assuming you can see there he missed his pit box. That's going to be costly for the 25 of Sickle Cow. And Robbie Minor is getting the lucky dog. So he was probably the only one happy to see that caution come out. And now the 218 blinks a little bit. Let's get a word with the 53. Robbie, this is Joshua up in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Early issue, of course. It seems to plague you in the last few races, but you just got the lucky dog we saw, so you're back on the lead lap and back in contention. What do you got to do now the rest of the way to get yourself back in a position to win this thing?
I think I'm about to change my paint job to a Target.
As of late, it feels like it's been that way, but as I mentioned, back on the lead lap now. So what's your plan now that you can kind of forget about the early trouble and work your way back to the front, put yourself in a good spot to win?
I think my car's moving pretty good, so I'm pretty excited about it. It was catching up. I was worried about it when the motor wouldn't start a while ago. I thought I was going to be out altogether, but hopefully it'll work its way right up through there.
Yeah, that's right, man. Well, good luck the rest of the way, sir. Good to see you getting back on the lead lap, and we'll be crossing our fingers here that you avoid any other trouble.
Thank you, Joshua. We'll
All
try
right.
to keep it clean, Bo.
Yes, sir. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Once again, folks, that was the driver of the 53 Royalty Motorsports Chevy Camaro in the black and white there. So we got 3 drivers representing Royalty Motorsports this evening on the field. But the 218 of Joe Thomas continues to lead. Although he is still continuing to blink as well, which will be problematic. That's what throws us for that camera right there. Let's go back up front. And oh no, looks like Thomas having big issues. Have to believe they might ask him to take an EOL on his end if that keeps up. Everyone has rejoined the field and everyone's back on the lead lap now, so that second caution didn't cause any big problems, but it may have caused someone to have to use their second fast repair already early in this showdown. We will see. But Joe Thomas and Zach White, as they have the 2 times before, get ready to lead us to green for the 3rd time as we get done with caution number 2. Something to keep an eye on. The 30 of Timothy Presley has damage on the rear end of that machine. May affect him if he shall drop to a position where he's only a pusher and doesn't have help. Keep an eye on the 30 of Presley. But we'll get ready to go back green here, and we'll watch Barney send them off once they get to the Geico restart zone.
Green flag.
And the 218 of Joe Thomas will hit the gas, and he'll get out to a good lead. But the big thing at super speedways, you can get out to the lead as big as you want to. They will chase you back down. That's exactly what the 4 of Jeremy Gill will be doing momentarily. Now, they did lose a lot of help behind them, and they'll get back up there. And the 77 already back to the 218 with Shane King behind him. 218 is blinking too much. The 60 clears, as does the 77. They now lead the way. The Jared Martin Racing boys sit on their outside in the 00 and the 30. The 19 of Akron is right behind them, leading the outside lane. Jarrett Martin Racing is hooked up, folks. Look out. Shane King a little wobbly, but the 218 lets him back in. Nice patient racing there. The 00 has the lead for now. Will he lead the lap? Now the 30 got a little bit out of sorts. It's going to cost the 00 some momentum, but they get back in line as they approach the start-finish line late on the front stretch at Talladega, and it looked like the 00 led the lap. And they're still cooking. The question is, what happens when White gets to the front, or Martin rather? If he clears the 77 of White, does he drop down and lead? That bottom line is awfully strong, and they're going to have to tighten it up just a bit on top if they want to push Martin to the front of the field for sure. He can get back and lead some laps maybe, but Shane King and the 77 of white on the bottom, very, very strong. Looks like temporarily the 218 has stopped blinking for now. Everyone minding their P's and Q's now. Things have settled down since those two quick early cautions, it looks like. The 4, Jeremy Gill, 11 spots up. Your biggest mover, the 60 of Shane King, is up 14 right now, and he'd like to be up 15 because that would mean he'd be leading the race. Double file all the way through. Ryan Perrone Sr. in the 50. He sits 9th right now. Robbie Minor just got back on the lead lap last time. Now the 218 is cycled. Joe Thomas cycled all the way to the back. And he'll be lucky if he can get back on the tail end of the field here with the 115 of Aaron Genske, who runs 16th right now. Barely hanging on himself. Steve Harrison also looking to get back to the tail end of the field. Whoa, weird transition there. 77 of white still leads the way. Shane King is in 2nd/3rd, depending on where he's at the time. The 30 of Presley is on the outside. Akron behind him. Thomas Osborne finds himself 3rd in line on the bottom. Don King already working his way up. Robbie Minor sits 7th now after just getting his lap back. Jeremy Gill dropping on the inside. Man, that inside lane had some minor issues here the last lap and a half. They're all still okay though. Robert Altman, mixing it with Robbie Minor. He's down 6th, but he's still got the tail end of the outside lane. Gary Sigelkow in that bright yellow 25 you see on your screen. Venom Racing Chevy Camaro. Down 3 for now, but he's still in the mix. Justin Terry is in that Cookie Monster red or blue and white machine. And Aaron Genske caught the tail end of the field, so that's good. Steve Harrison also did. The 21 or 51 of Steve Harrison, and Joe Thomas still fighting for his draft life there. The 00 of Tyler Martin cleared 77. He dropped down and he'll lead the way on the bottom line. That gives the top line to his teammate Timothy Presley and Kelly Akron. As the 00 will lead that lap, but the 30 is moving fast with the 19 right behind him. And the 70 of Don King finds himself side by side with his son Shane King, as now the 00 blinks momentarily. A lot of blinking issues here early from a lot of different guys. Is on cue. The 70 of Don King blinks again. The 51 caught back up to the field completely now, as the 218 wants his spot back. Joe Thomas pushed it 3 wide for a minute, but nobody went with him. He's going to have to fall back in line as the 115 of Genske gets by him now. Genski up to 12th. We just saw him fighting to save the draft and stay with the lead pack just a lap and a half to 2 laps ago. So he's rolling. William Martin on the inside of him in the Georgia 55. He's down 10. He's being nice and patient. Still over halfway to go in this race, folks. And now we're 3 wide up front with Jeremy Gill. Don King is in the middle. Shane King on the bottom. He had some takers. Kelly Akron is on the top side leading the way. Oh, Gill gets into the wall. Sickle Cow into the wall. Shane King jumps out to the middle lane to help out the 30 and his dad, the 70 of King. Keep it all together, boys. Don King, or Kelly Akron losing momentum. Don King right up the middle. Gotta believe Akron rather him clear now as Shane King will drop to the bottom line and lead the way. Don King now still in the middle of the 19 and the 4. They're all holding it together now, but they are mere seconds and inches away from disaster. Now the 00 jumps out to pick up his teammate. Lucked out did the 30 of Presley as the 00 of Martin jumped to the outside to help him out. Is Shane King gonna lead the way? No. Now they're nearly 4 wide for a second behind him. Akron still on the outside of 3 wide. The 218 of Thomas says, I'm your Huckleberry. I'll go with you, Don. Now he's in the middle. Shane King goes back up top. He got cycled out. He's going to help his pops. Teamwork versus teamwork here. Jarrett Martin Racing versus Royalty Motorsports on the front rows. Oh, hold on to it, Sickle Cow. No, he lost it. As no caution just yet. We'll go back up front. Oh, and now they're going. Joe Thomas involved again. Whew, Don King involved. This is what I was referring to, folks. We were a mere seconds away from disaster, and it struck. Akron went into the wall. Oh! Don King helicoptered on the top of Akron. Let's take another look at it now from the 19. So he got a little squirrely, I'd have to assume here. Yeah, he had nowhere to go. And the 70 was blinking. So when the 70 showed up, 19 had tried to go high. The 4 was there, got into his right rear and caused trouble. 218 heavily damaged once again. Mixed up in that pile you see there. But back live we go, and the 00 of Tyler Martin will lead the way with Timothy Presley behind him. Shane King avoided that trouble, and so did Zach White in the 77. Amber says, woohoo, let's go Tyler Martin. Yes, he is doing well. He's leading the race right now. Derek, hello, sir. Welcome in. We're going to take this opportunity under caution for the third time this evening. Halfway through the race, we are going to step away and hear a word from our sponsors. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. They are stacking and racking them up back 2 by 2 to get ready to go green once again. As very cool sight to see here. A photo op we had earlier just got better, as Tyler Martin and Timothy Presley are your front row. They'll roll off first and second. Shane King in third. Zach White fourth. Ryan Prone Sr. 5th, Jeremy Gill 6th, Robbie Miner is 7th, William Martin 8th, Don King 9th, Aaron Genske rounds out your top 10. Heartbreak Hotel for 5 guys in the field thus far. Gary Sigelkow has called it an evening, unfortunately. And after that, Joe Thomas in the 218 mixed up in multiple issues. Now 1 lap down. Steve Harrison also showing 1 lap down. Kelly Akron the same. Justin Terry is 2 laps down. So the 218 of Thomas, 51 of Harrison, and the 19 of Akron will all be hoping for another caution. Multiple, in fact. Trying to get all of them back on the lead lap to race this thing out. The rest of the guys, hoping we stay green the rest of the way, as I'm sure you are at home. And I am up in the booth. But nevertheless, we get ready to go green once more as we just worked caution number 3 of the evening with a JMR front row as Tyler Martin puts the pedal to the metal and takes off from the field. The 30 will get back in, and that was coordinated, folks. That's about as good as it gets. Go up there, get your buddy that started on the top line, and then you both drop in line and lead the way. And you can see they're single file for about the top 5 until the 60 Shane King says he wants to lead the outside lane, and he's got a buddy in the 4, Jeremy Gill, behind him. Robbie Minor, teammates with the 60. He'll sandwich Gill in, and they'll try to head to the front. But nevertheless, Tyler Martin will lead the way. Presley behind him as the 60 of Shane King gets a lot of momentum on that outside lane going into turn 1. Now they're all stacked up, double file once again. Will Martin lead yet another lap, or will King get this one? We got guys going 3 wide in the back, trying to get their lap the old school way. Kelly Akron not only wants his lap back, but he definitely wants to be the first guy a lap down in front of the 218 of Thomas and the rest of those guys. And Shane King, I believe, didn't quite get it done there to lead the lap. So now Thomas Osborne finds himself in competition with Akron, but Osborne is the last car on the lead lap for now. Don King is also on the lead lap. He just got passed by Osborne. That happened as I was saying that. King nowhere to go. You're just kind of left out to dry. As now Minor leads the outside lane. The 60 of Shane King got enough momentum to lead. So did the 4 of Gill. So Shane King will lead that lap. Oh, look out. Robbie Minor. Kelly Akron still on the move on the outside with the 218. They want to get that lap back. Said we're not sitting back here screwing around. 218 has to keep it out of the wall, though, as he's hugging it all the way around 3 and 4. Shane King, good momentum, no question about it. He'll lead this one. Robbie Minor, they can't get it straight behind him. They got 3 wide and people jumping in and out, so he's lost a lot of momentum. He's back to about 6th now, as the 77 of Zach White find his way. Now the JMR Black Rifle Coffee boys go to the outside. They'll be a little more efficient out there, I think, as now Minor pushed it 3 wide. Not quite sure why that would have been a case, because he only has Akron up there. Akron's by himself. These guys are going to get cycled. 94 of Altman is thanking his lucky stars. He got away from the 3 wide business for the time being. Don King in the 70 will eventually make that work up the middle. Altman going to cycle all the way to the back of the lead lap pack here. We just saw him nearly third a second ago. Now, he's being showed in 10th with William Martin, Tommy Osborne, and Kelly Akron. So Akron is a lap down to the leaders. Is now the 60 of King got pushed down below the apron temporarily, but good communication from the 4 of Gill to let him back in line. But the JMR boys are right back out front. Tyler Martin, Timothy Presley working really, really well together here. Gary Sigelcow, sorry you had a rough evening, buddy. It happens to the best of us. We've all been there before. Drafty Beef is in the chat. Welcome, sir. Missing you this evening, but some good racing we got going on here. 3 cautions on the evening as we are under 20 minutes to go now. Oh no, what happened to Gill? Jeremy Gill all the way out of the draft. He was just pushing Shane King for first. Not sure what happened there. And we'll have to keep an eye on that. He lost the draft. He'll more than certainly lose a lap as well. As now Shane King on the outside. Good momentum. And a good push from the 77. The 19 of Akron up the middle. He's still a lap down. Trying to battle for the top spot of the cars a lap down. He wants his lap back. He knows he's fast. Oh, you gotta let him in. As now the 77 trying to come back down. He had no room. Oh man, I saw that a mile away. Saw that a mile away, folks. We can't keep having these issues in this league. Now you'll see the 77 will kind of get cycled out a little bit before we start this. So I'm going to play it back for you. But the 77 gets cycled out. The 19 behind him, the 19 has 2 options here. And he can either lay off the gas and let him back in, or he can take the run and not let him back in, which means the 77 gets cycled out and has to rely on the help of the 94. But let's take a look. You'll see what I mean. So he gets cycled out there. Now, 2 issues here I see. The 19, a lap down, should have let the 77 back in. The other issue, the 77 should have known the 19 was there and known, you know, from his spotter, hey, you got someone below you, you're 3 wide, not clear, whatever the verbiage may have been. And he stays up top and has a little patience and rolls with the 94 rather. So, big issue at the front of the field. Ooh. That was due to a blink there, but all sorts of cars. I mean, I'm not even going to begin to say who was involved. Basically your whole field except these 2 guys. Ryan Perone Sr., of course, and Shane King. But Robbie Minor coming out quick. Looks like he's going to benefit. Come out second since everyone was in pit road. Now, this is not necessarily a stop due to damage, even though it did basically wrap up everybody. This could have been a stop due to not being in yet, and our top 6 cars had not been in yet. So they probably stopped for fuel. But Robbie Minor going to have to pull it back in. He's got a lot of damage on the front end and back end of that 53. But, yeah, Drafty, good-sized field tonight. 17 cars made the call. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully everything is well. Working our 4th caution this evening. As familiar sight we've seen so often in this series, the 50 of Ryan Perone Sr. leads the way right now. See how they reset after they get back to it. Robbie Minor indeed did have to pit again. Gotta believe he's got another fast repair available. He was only wrapped up in that incident and the very first one. But avoidable caution there. As I mentioned prior, nevertheless, I'll stack them up once again. Under 15 minutes to go in this race now. Hopefully those last 12 to 13 minutes will be spent green flag racing, and we'll get an exciting green flag finish here. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. Happy Monday, if there's a thing. If that is a thing, I should say. We're rocking and rolling here on Royalty Racing Network. Hold Your Brakes Academy Race 6. Approaching 13 minutes to go in the race. The lights on the iRacing.com pace car are turned off, which means one thing: will go back to green this time around. Who are you guys picking to win? I want to hear it in chat. Who's your pick? Let's see them. Everyone's still got a chance. Joe Thomas not on the lead lap. No one got the lucky dog there because everyone that was in contention for it was involved in that crash. So it remains the same cars on the lead lap as before. Whoops. Amber's going with Tyler Martin for sure. Uh-oh, we have problems, folks, for the 50 of Ryan Perone Sr. He's down pit road. May have jumped the start, not quite sure. That's the only thing I could think of. Which puts Tyler Martin and Timothy Presley back in the lead right now with the 2dumpstertoday.com Royalty Motorsports cars on the top side, pushing the Ford. Jeremy Gill We're approaching 10 minutes to go here. The field has thinned. Will we keep it green all the way? Michael and Amber, you gotta love what you're seeing right now with the Black Rifle Coffee Company boys leading the way on the bottom side. Jeremy Gill has the momentum of the father-son duo behind him, followed by the 115 of Ginsky, it's taken all night to get back up to the front and avoid the issues. But he's on the lead lap. No! As I say that, the 115 and Don King find trouble, and the broadcaster curse just took its effect. See what happens, same as last time. The 70 of Don King got pushed out, and the 115 with quite a run. We're going to watch it from his point of view, from behind his point of view, rather. You can see here, we'll wind it a little bit more. Now, the 115 already is on the inside. He's in the middle here. The 70 and the 60, they followed each other up the track. As of right this second, they have room. That's going to change quickly. As now, we'll watch it play back slow motion. Kelly pushes him, which gets the 115 to the inside. 115 knows this. But now Don King needs to know it. And they're 3 wide right now. You can see it clear as day. 70 trying to catch some side draft or something. I'm not sure. Right down in to the 115. Sends them both around. Let's watch here if the 115 found any heavy damage. He's got the brakes locked up, and it looks heavy damage to the rear of that ride. Don King kept her locked up. Good job there. But let's go back live now to the 00 of Tyler Martin. Yeah, Drafty, I think, they gotta, either they do that and they live with it and they have the, they have the patience to kind of go back and then work their way back up, or they just don't do it. I'm not quite sure. I get why he was out there following the 60. Can't speak for him, of course, being in this position about what I would have done. It's the same kind of thing when you watch a sports play and think, oh, I would have ran that, but you're watching it from a bird's eye view on a broadcast in a football game than actually being in the split-second decision in the moment. But we are both drivers ourselves, so we can speculate. But anyway, hoping that was the last caution, because we're getting down into the nitty-gritty here. Tyler Martin will be on your inside low lane leading the way, and Jeremy Gill will be on the outside. Timothy Presley will roll off right behind his teammate in the 30 in third. He's up 10 spots. Jeremy Gill, biggest mover and shaker of the evening, up 15 right now. And Shane King up 12, starting outside row 2. We'll be back once again, folks, as they line them up one more time, or hopefully what is one more time. And we'll bring you the finish right here on Royalty Racing Network. Don't go away. Welcome back, folks. The lights on the iRacing.com pace car are turned off, and you know what that means. We're going green next time around. They're heading into turn 3 right now, so it won't be long. It's a mid-tier racing and Jarrett Martin Racing front row as we work caution number 5 on the evening. 6 cars on the, or our lap down or more. Kelly Akron got the lucky dog, so he's back on the lead lap, and we've seen him run up front a lot this race. We'll see what he can't do, but he is starting on the tail end of the field. Gonna have to make a jump quick and stay with the lead pack. As we'll jump up here and watch Barney kick them off as soon as they hit that Geico restart zone. With nearly 3 minutes to go.
Green, green, green.
The green flag is out for the 6th time this evening. And Tyler Martin and Jeremy Gill lead the way. Gill had a fantastic start. He cleared the 00 and he jumps to the bottom. Ryan Perone Sr., folks, we did see him have an issue last restart. He's still on the lead lap. We'll see what happens. Jeremy Gill in the 4, up 16 spots. Shane King in the 60, up 13 for the time being. They lead the lines here at Talladega. Approaching 2 minutes to go. Now they're 00s. They've done many times before. Plenty of room to clear the 60. They'll jump outside. The 60 goes 3 wide. 115 of Genski's around. That's not going to bring out a caution. Only car. Tough break for Genski unless something happens here in a lap or so. Oh, Tyler Martin, bad time to blink there, buddy. Get that figured out. You're leading this one. The 4, Jeremy Gill pushes. The 60 of Shane King leads the outside lane. The 30 of Presley, who we've seen nearly up front all race. Oh, look out squarely for the 00. Luckily, the 4 had plenty of room to move up. That could have been bad. This top pack is really, really small now. Robbie Minor is in the middle now as the 00's squirrely. Don't count Don King out. Don't count the 55 of William Martin in the Georgia machine out. The 4 leads the way. Shane King pressures. The 00 blinking will only hurt him and the 4 late here. He cannot afford to be blinking as now he leaves the 4. to go outside. He's marked. Oh, look out. You're not clear, buddy. Now he goes all the way to the bottom. Holy smokes. Robbie Minor leads the outside lane. Shane King and Don King involved together. We're going to keep it right here as Tyler Martin leads the way. Robbie Minor is there. Tyler Martin leads the way. I think I misspoke. So much craziness. Jeremy Gill with a chance. Presley's not going to have an opportunity on this lap. This will bring out the white flag, if I do recall. The timing of a oval race throws it off. Oh no! They're around on the white flag. No caution is out because they took the final white flag. Timothy Presley leads the way. Robbie Minor is not even up to speed, nor is Shane King. The father-son duo in issues together again. Tony, you called it. The 30 of Timothy Presley is going to limp her home. He was sitting 5th when they took the white flag. And he's going to cruise to victory with Robbie Minor and Shane King behind him. Timothy Presley, you got to get to the start finish. Why is he stopping? Man, oh man. I believe he darn near ruined it for himself. Maybe that was the last lap. I'm still getting the white flag, man. The timer doesn't like the NASCAR stuff. But nevertheless, Timothy Presley in the Black Rifle Coffee Company takes the win. And another good photo opportunity there. Jarrett Martin Racing. Kelly Akron finished 7th. Good run from him. Let's pull up your results here on the top of, or on the screen. Presley takes the win. Robbie Minor finished 2nd. Shane King 3rd. William Martin 4th. Ryan Perone Sr. 5th. Robert Altman in 6th. Kelly Akron in 7th. Tyler Martin finished 8th. Jeremy Gill, tough run. I know he's not going to be happy with that one, with an opportunity to win it. Finishes 9th. Don King 10th. Aaron Genske finished 11th. Zach White finished 12th. Steve Harrison 13th. Joe Thomas 14th. Justin Terry 15th. And Thomas Osborne 16th. And rounding out your field, Gary Sigelkow in the 25. Finished 17th. Folks, we're going to have a replay, or a replay, holy moly. We're going to have interviews with the top 3 here. Actually, no, we're not. We're not going to have interviews with them. Only Robbie Minor, it would appear, and Shane King. So let's get Shane in here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Presley is not in the chat, unfortunately, guys. I would love to interview him for you. Not in chat, though. But let's get the 3rd place finisher of Shane King in here with us. Had a good run, put himself in a place to win the thing late. Shane, Joshua up in the booth. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. A lot of chaos out there tonight.
A lot of chaos for sure. We saw it firsthand, of course. Good race once again. You do really well at these super speedways. You put yourself in a position to win, and then we saw you get wrapped up with your pops again, which was a familiar sight for us at Royalty Motorsports. But you limped her home third, so got to feel good about that. Tell us your thoughts.
Yeah, I was trying to make a move on the outside, and Tyler was protecting that lead pretty hard, and he moved up, and me being the kind soul that I am, I kind of checked up a little bit, and it scraped the wall, scrubbed a bunch of speed off, so pretty much the whole field was going by me pretty quick, and then yeah, they were trying to go by. I think it was 2 on my inside and 1 on my outside, and somebody just couldn't squeeze through, and we ended up. And then I thought that was it. And then coming through the tri-oval, I saw a bunch of smoke, and I said, "Well, this is it, Days of Thunder time." And I just stayed in the gas and got past as many of them as I could. And when the finishing order shook out, it showed P3, and I was like, "Hey!"
Yeah, that works out for sure, especially since you were up there just a lap before competing for the victory. So, race 6 tonight, you're in good spot in the points. This will definitely help. Ryan Perone Sr. had kind of a rough go. Works back to 5th, though, so still good showing for him. Tell us your thoughts about how this season has played out, what you're looking forward to in the last couple races, not only for yourself, but for the rest of the series and the league, and then going into season 2.
Yeah, Ryan's he's doing everything he needs to do to protect that points lead, and he's doing everything right. I think tonight was probably some of the worst luck he's had, and he still brings it home a top 5. So he's gonna be hard to catch. Uh, I really expected a little cleaner racing tonight as far as overall. I think the racing up front and was pretty competitive and exciting, and a lot of fun to watch and a lot of fun to be a part of. But after last week's race, I really thought that we could that we could step up the aggression level at a big wide place like this and be all right. And it didn't really pan out that way. But I mean, we had some guys that were blinking tonight that was kind of that was kind of throwing some things off, and everyone was kind of dodging them. So season 2, we're going to keep 2 super speedways, and then we're going to the intermediates, so 1.5 miles, things like that. That's a whole new learning curve, and I look forward to getting on the track with these guys and teaching them, giving them a little bit of knowledge I know, and my specialty. I'm not the fastest guy on the track. My specialty is racecraft, and if I can teach these guys the racecraft, then and it's up to them to find the speed.
Yeah, absolutely, and I know you're gonna get that figured out for sure in your reviews that you do on Thursday night. So that's pretty awesome that you have that. Before I let you go, Shane, anyone you'd like to thank or shout out this evening?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out dumpstertoday.com, the sponsor on the car for this league, especially the one in the Charlotte area. Of course, Royalty Motorsports, and all of our sponsors, which I'm sure if you haven't already, you're about to play a commercial with all of them. PGHA Designs, SM Racing Products, Majestic Branded and Apparel. So.
Right on, man. Well, good to talk to you. Last time I talked to you post-race was when you won the race, so good to see you back up in the podium again. And Shane, we'll see you back out. Well, I'll see you another time before then, but as far as on the broadcast, I'll see you back out here next Monday evening.
Yeah, man, and thanks again to you guys for doing the broadcast. I really enjoy it. Like, as soon as these races are over, that's the first thing I do is I pull up YouTube and I catch the tail end of what you're doing, and then I start it over and check out the broadcast and see how things went. So, and you guys do a fantastic job.
Well, right on, man. We appreciate that. We're happy to be here. We're excited to potentially be a part of season 2 as well. So yeah, I mean, we do the same thing, or at least I do. Even though I live it real time and broadcast it real time, I go back and watch it because I'm just a racing fan when it comes down to it. But appreciate you having us. We will see you next week, sir.
All right, and congrats to Timothy Presley on his win. Actually, he's got a brand new sponsor on the car, and if I'm not mistaken, I think this is his first win with that sponsor on the car.
Heck yeah, man. First night with the sponsor on the car, so couldn't have started any better for them. And we are going to talk to him, folks. If you're watching at home, he is now available. So breaking news. We'll have Timothy Presley, your winner tonight, here momentarily. Shane, have a good night, sir.
All right, man. You too. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Once again, folks, that was the driver of the number 60 Royalty Motorsports DumpsterToday.com Ford Mustang, Shane King. Now we're going to get to our second place finisher, Royalty Motorsports driver as well, which is the 53 of Robbie Miner. Robbie, what's up, man? Push to talk. Something going on? Hello? Ooh, no Robbie Miner, maybe.
What's going on, Josh?
Oh, there he is. There he is, just in time. Robbie, we talked to you after.
Hello. Have you got me?
I can hear you.
You hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello. Nothing at all.
Oh. Well, he can't hear me, apparently.
Oh,
Interesting. Very interesting. All right, we'll get back with Robbie Miner. Let's see if we can't get your winner in here, which is, of course, the number 30, Timothy Presley. Tim, is Joshua up in the booth? You got a copy?
Hello, Josh. You have no idea how long I've waited for this.
Man, I'm excited for you. It all kind of worked out well this evening. It was in the stars, if you will. Brand new sponsor on the cars, brand new sponsor for the team on top of that. And then you come out here, keep it in the front basically all race with your teammate, and then you walk off and get the victory, man. How's it feel?
Oh, man, it feels amazing. I mean, this is only my second start in this series. Just did everything I could to work with Kelly and Jarrett and just did all I could to stay up front with them. And that final wreck, I guess I just got lucky and snuck through.
I mean, you did amazing. The driving was amazing. We saw you hook up with your teammates multiple times, top side, low side. It was clear that there was a lot of communication there between the team, and you guys had it sorted out. Really, really fun to watch. Of course, I wouldn't say I've known you for a long time, but I've now had the pleasure of calling a lot of your races. So for me to watch you guys up front, you specifically up front, for the majority of the race, and then ultimately get it done at the end, it was really awesome to see. Is this your first league win?
This is my first league win. Yeah.
Let's go. Called it live, baby. Congratulations, man. Woo!
Thank you.
So,
But, I couldn't have done it without.
Go ahead.
I really couldn't have done it without my guys, Jarrett, Kelly, just everybody that was helping me, pushing, pulling, just staying in each other's ear. We got it done.
Heck yeah, man. That's what a team is for. Good to see success happening for sure. Tell us now about before the race. Kind of walk us through what was the strategy, second start in the series you mentioned, and then kind of as it played out, getting to the front, then how your strategy changed, and then ultimately putting yourself in a position to win near the end.
Really, whenever we were talking about it before the race and even during practice, we just had the strategy to, no matter what, just stick together. If one of us fell back, then we would go back and get him. And as soon as all three of us got linked up, or even just two of us, I mean, we would take off. I mean, two rocket ships, really.
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't have worked out any better. The fact that you guys were staying hooked up so consistently. And then, I mean, I mentioned it, the stars kind of aligned. You had opportunities to go high. You know, he had opportunities to go high or go low and pick you up back and forth. And, I mean, it was really, really fun to see it play out. I'm glad it finished the way it did under green, which was really cool to see. So, Timothy, anyone you'd like to thank or shout out before we let you pop the champagne in victory lane?
Oh man, just a huge shout out to everybody at JMR, Kelly, Zach Postma for Postma Flooring, Jarrett for running this whole thing, Black Rifle Coffee. They had just signed with us today, and to go out and get a win for them, rock their sponsor on 2 cars, was just amazing. MKM Racing Development, just all the guys back the shop there, and everybody that can make this possible.
Absolutely, man. It has to feel good, especially right when you get that new sponsor on the car. Let them know the broadcast, you know, so they can go watch it back and see those Black Rifle Coffee Company cars sit out front all night long, basically. And I guarantee they will definitely enjoy that one. I know you're going to enjoy that one. Jarrett Martin Racing is going to enjoy this one. But yeah, pleasure to talk to you, man. I know we're going to try to get you up in the booth here at some point. You want to do that too, so we got to work that out. But in the time being, go back, pop the champagne in victory lane, and celebrate this one, buddy. Congrats.
I appreciate it, man. I'm looking forward to the seasons coming up.
Yeah, and absolutely, you're going to watch this one back, man. You're going to love it. Obviously, you know what happens at the end, but there's nothing like experiencing the first win in a series or league, some will call it. So enjoy it for sure.
Oh, for sure. I'm pumped up. I'm at a loss for words, really.
Heck yeah, man. I remember my first time, so no doubt about it, and no one blames you. But you got a lot of fans in the chat cheering for you, rooting for you as well. So you gave them a show tonight as well. Have a good evening, sir.
You too, and thank you to all the fans that are out there.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Welcome once again, folks. That was your winner, the number 30, Timothy Presley. Now let's try one more time. No, we won't try one more time. Robbie Miner was hanging around, and I was going to try to get him back in here one more time. He said, bad delay on the microphone. So we're going to try it, but he left us no problem. We'll talk to Robbie again. Robbie had a good race in the end tonight. Saw him go a lap down real early and then work his way back and found himself in a good position and finished second. So good strong run from the 53, a Miner there. So we saw a up and down race. It was exciting. There was some good racing involved for sure. A couple questionable moves, I would say, at times slightly aggressive, maybe slightly impatient, but that's okay. This is a learning series. It is a super speedway series, and those things happen. The overall improvement of the product from week 1 to week 6 now, leaps and bounds ahead of where these guys started, and you could hear the absolute joy in you could hear the absolute joy in our winner's voice this evening, the 30 of Timothy Presley. He loves coming out, such a good guy, and just very respectful all the time. Good racer, been working really hard, and that and only that is the main reason I decided I wanted to broadcast this series for Shane. Of course, we have the team affiliation together, but I was really excited and passionate about doing something different like this, where it's known and it's announced and marketed as an introductory learning series, and it gives everyone the opportunity to not come out here only and get better week in and week out, but also to compete. And if you're familiar with iRacing, a lot of series don't have that. They have the top dogs, and they're so spread out that it's not extremely competitive on a weekly basis, and not everyone shows up with the true opportunity and feeling that they can win. But that's what this gives people, and I love it. But we're going to call it an evening here. American Truckster, thank you for joining. All the JMR fans, thank you guys for the support. I'm assuming that's probably one of your drivers from this evening. But appreciate you joining and supporting, of course. But as for Royalty Racing Network, we'll be back here Wednesday night for the SCS RA series, Dev Sports Cards series to be exact. That'll be Drafty and I'll be back on the mic here. Missed the last 2 weeks, and Drafty will be back. So he took tonight off, and I took the last couple nights, or last couple weeks off. So we'll be back together. That'll be a lot of fun. Always love that. But we appreciate you joining in. One last word to thank our sponsors, PGHA Designs. Victory starts with a flawless finish. Contact Drafty Beef on Discord for a quote on your iRacing custom paints today, starting at just $25 a paint. That is a good deal. Majestic Promotional and Branded Apparel. Whether you run a company, a government agency, a sports team, or even a virtual race team, turn every item into a statement with Majestic Promotional and Branded Apparel. Comment for details or send me a message on Discord, Viper Dog 17, DAWG 17. And finally, SM Racing Products. Take your sim experience to the next level with custom-made button boxes, dashboards, flag lights, and more with SM Racing Products. Check out their deals right now at sm-racingproducts.com. And as usual, use promo code ROYALTY at checkout for 20% off of your purchase over $150. Man, their products are amazing. We all use them at Royalty Motorsports. You got to take a look and get yourself something. Folks, for everyone at Royalty Racing Network and the Hold Your Brakes Academy, I'm Joshua King. Appreciate you joining in this evening and watching an exciting race. We'll see you back here Wednesday night. Good night.